What's up everyone, my name is Marie, welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So for today's video, I'm back with another build for the Not So Berry challenge, and this is actually another home for the plum generation of Not So Berry. So I've definitely done this before. You may remember that a little while ago I actually built a tiny home for the Not So Berry challenge for the plum generation specifically, which was perfect because the plum generation, if you're familiar with this legacy challenge, each color or each generation is based on a specific color, and then that color kind of their like traits and stuff are based on that specific color, if that makes sense. You can build a house for them in that specific color. You can create a sim that has outfits or hair or like just everything in that specific color. You can really go as crazy as you want. And so for the plum generation, there was a lot of skill building involved for the most part, like for the first half of their life, essentially. They had to have the Renaissance sim aspiration. And because of that aspiration, you have to get, I think, at least level 8 in 6 skills total. So that was a lot of skill building. This sim has to be a doctor for a significant portion of their life. So it's nice to be able to like work on skill building and maybe complete that career a little bit faster as well. So that is definitely something we had to work on. And so a tiny home would make the most sense, or would be very beneficial for the plum generation of Not So Berry. So we've played through all that. In case you didn't know, I actually do play the Not So Berry challenge over on Twitch, and that's where I built these, what I built these houses for too, because I actually use them. But my plum gen sim is now actually a pretty famous actor. I believe he is a 3-star celebrity at this point, so I think that is a B-lister. And he's an actor, and he's doing amazingly because he did all that skill building earlier in his life, which was very, very helpful. So he has a lot of very helpful skills like the fitness skill and the charisma skill, stuff like that. Comedy, he's really good at that as well. So he kind of built up all those skills already before he moved on from being a doctor to being an actor. Now, the actual like official rule is that you have to be a doctor first and then do the entertainer career, which obviously is really fun, but I wanted to just like do something a little bit different, and I really wanted to mess around with the actor career because I thought that would suit my sim. It's kind of like along the same lines, like in the entertainment industry sort of thing. So it's kind of along the same lines. My sim is also a really good dancer. I believe that's one of the goals for for the plum generation, is that you actually have to max out the dancing skill as well. And the sim is a dance machine. They have that as a trait. So that comes in handy with acting, because for some parts, like for some roles, they actually have to do dancing and stuff. So yeah, I actually decided to, instead of the entertainer career, go for the actor career. And that is why today we're building a house in Del Sol Valley, which is of course the world that came with the Get Famous expansion pack, because I thought it was time for my sim to actually move from his tiny home. It's no longer a tiny home. We did do some renovations over time because my sim did get married, and he had a baby, or they had a baby, I should say, and his partner actually already had a daughter, so she moved in as well. And then they got divorced, which was pretty sad, but they are also getting back together. That's actually one of the goals for the plum generation, is that they have to get married, get divorced, and then get remarried later in life. So at this point, they're divorced, but they are getting pretty close to getting back together as well, because they've definitely been talking. There has been some romance. So yeah, they're definitely getting back together. And then all of them, the 4 of them, are gonna live in this house, which I'm very excited about actually. So as you can see, it is a very like mid-century retro inspired home here in Del Sol Valley, and I'm definitely making it a split level home. As you can see, I was messing around with the terrain tool. So what I wanted to go for this one, I didn't really have a specific picture that I was looking at or inspiration photo or anything. I just kind of went from scratch here, but I did have a pretty clear vision of what I wanted this house to look like, for the vibe of this house in general. And what I wanted for this house was, I wanted it to look like a very luxurious, grand kind of home in the hills of Del Sol Valley. So like a really like famous person type home, but I did also want it to be good for gameplay. And that means that I don't want it to be too huge. I want it to be mostly on one floor because I just really prefer that when I'm doing gameplay. I love when my houses are just like one-story homes. It's just so much easier to keep track of everyone. Now, this house is not a one-story home, but it is mostly, for the most part. There is a sort of like a basement level the way I built this. And there's definitely a couple of bedrooms there and also a garage sort of thing that's converted into a home gym. So that's what we have downstairs. But for the most part, it's all a one-level home. And as you can see, I turned it into, or I made it a split level home by doing a lot of terrain tools. So I basically created a hill, and that's where I built the second floor of the house, which is going to be the main level of the house, where we have the living room, the kitchen, and the main bedroom, the office space, everything is on that level. And then essentially I turned the ground floor into a basement level, and that's where we have the kids' bedrooms, another bathroom, and a home gym, like I explained. So that is what's going on here. And you could see me mess around earlier with the terrain tool and trying to make everything work. It's kind of tricky to build a house like this where you're using basically just like different level heights and try to make the rooms connect. And it's definitely a little bit of a trial and error type thing, but I always really enjoy it. And I just had so much fun building this. Terrain tools definitely used to intimidate me a little bit. And I used to sort of like never use them because it's just scary and I never really knew how to make it work. But lately I found that I actually really enjoy using terrain tools these days to just add a little bit of extra layering to the build or just make it a little bit more detailed in that sense. I don't know what it is exactly, but I just really enjoy it. So yeah, I was definitely stepping out of my comfort zone for this one specifically. I don't think I've ever really done a split level home like this before. I've definitely messed around with terrain paint or terrain tools and stuff before, also for like retro type split level homes, I guess, but not really in this sense. And I think it turned out really cool. I'm really happy with how this house came together, especially the backyard here. You can see that I did some extra leveling here in the backyard. So we have a pool, kind of like an extended terrace just on the same level as the house. And then we have a small portion that is a little bit of an in-between level. And I did some landscaping there. I think I ended up placing an easel there and just some benches just for vibes. And then on the ground floor, basically connected to the basement level of the house, is where we have another portion of the backyard, and that's what I turned into basically the kids area. Also, because the kids' rooms are connected to that space, I gave them sliding glass doors to the backyard too, so that's kind of nice. And so their rooms are sort of connected to that playground area in the backyard as well. So I thought that was really nice for them to have it that way. And I feel like for gameplay, it'll be fun too. I don't know. I haven't actually been doing any gameplay in this house because I'm going to do that. Actually, today, when you're watching this, the stream has already happened. But yes, today, later on today, I'm doing this voiceover in the morning. I'm going to actually be playing Not So Berry over on Twitch. And then we're going to, at some point, move into this house. So that's very exciting. I sort of had to keep in mind that I also had a specific budget to work with, but I definitely lost track of that. This house is not on a budget whatsoever. I mean, I tried to keep it in mind a little bit to the sense where the house on the inside is not super cluttered. I definitely tried to make it personalized, but I didn't go overboard with unnecessary decorations and clutter for the most part. But still, the house is big and I used expensive items as well. So I don't know, it's definitely expensive. I think it's just over 130 something thousand simoleons. So it's not cheap. I'm going to have to like sort of think of a story to tell around that because I don't really normally cheat for money in this legacy challenge. We are pretty rich though. He has made a significant amount of money when he was still a doctor. And now as an actor, he's definitely been making money as well. So we definitely have money, but not 130,000 simoleons type money, I don't think. I don't know what happens when we sell the house. We'll definitely have some money then, of course, but I don't know. We're gonna have to cheat for money and then just kind of pretend that we got a mortgage or something. I don't know. We'll have to find a way to work with that, but we're definitely moving into this house because I just love it too much. But yeah, you can see that I was kind of just doing some landscaping and stuff. I added a pool in the back and it's very kind of luxurious looking with the hill and all the lush flowers and everything. So yeah, I definitely tried to give it that luxurious look and feel, kind of like a Beverly Hills or Los Angeles type of home, I guess. That's what I was going for, and I definitely tried to embrace the retro look and feel as well. That was something I really wanted for this house, and I love the color combination for the exterior as well. I know this is for the plum generation of Not So Berry. Normally, I go a little bit more crazy with the color for that specific generation, but I felt for this house, you know, the tiny home that we did earlier on in the challenge was definitely very plum on the exterior and even more so on the interior. So for this house, I was like, okay, let's focus the plum color. Like, let's keep that more so on the inside of the house and not so much on the exterior. I did put in details that are sort of like purple or plum colored. I later on added some more flowers and stuff to the exterior of the house as well in that purple color to kind of, I don't know, just reflect the plum. And then also I'm using this siding, this wood siding. Both wallpapers that I used on the exterior, by the way, are from Life and Death, and I feel like they work surprisingly well on these retro types homes. I don't know, it was kind of unexpected in that sense, but I feel like they work really nicely on this specific style, so that was kind of cool. But yeah, that siding that I'm using, I think is labeled as pink. It's like a grayish, sort of dusty pink that I really like. I mean, I know it's not purple, but pink, purple, it's kind of in the same color family, I guess. So I feel like that was fine. And then I also used that really cool brick from Life and Death that I actually haven't really used before because I can't really find, or I haven't really done any builds where I really like that stone exterior because I feel like it's too mid-century. That's all I see when I see that. And with Life and Death specifically, I haven't really been doing any mid-century or retro type builds, but for this one it was perfect. I think it looks so cool, and I also used that same brick on the inside for some accent walls as well to really just kind of tie the exterior and the interior together, I want to say. Oh, and then here, of course, I also did some vines on the exterior in purple, of course, because, you know, that's the only way to go. I was trying to find ways to add some more purple to this build. So I did that by putting some purpley flowery vines up that I think are really pretty. And then over here we have this really nice front porch by the front door. I'm obsessed with that front door. That door is actually from Get Famous, I believe, and I just think it's such a pretty cool, like, retro door. I just love it. I love mid-century retro style homes. They're so fun. I think if I had to describe, or if I had to pick a style for my real life dream home, I feel like this would be it. I think that I would love to live in a retro home, but like a renovated retro, you know? That's definitely what we went for on the interior for this house as well. The exterior too, by the way. I was trying to capture the vibes of this being a pretty old house, like it was actually built way back in the day, but it's definitely been sort of renovated over time. It's got new floors, it's got like new paint and stuff on the inside, so fresh paint, and I don't know, definitely a little bit of a renovated look and feel, but still trying to embrace that retro as well. And here on the inside, you can see that I definitely try to embrace the purple a little bit more. I think for the most part, I actually used the same color wallpapers that I used in the tiny home that we're currently living in. That's actually, like I explained earlier, no longer a tiny home because I had to renovate when the husband and his daughter actually moved in and when they had another baby. So we definitely had to renovate that and turn that into, I think, a 100 tile small home. So there's still some perks, but it's no longer an actual tiny home. But then we're moving from that house to this one. So that is definitely gonna be a difference. It's gonna be such a different vibe for gameplay as well. I'm kind of excited about it. But here in the living room, you can definitely see all the purple. I love that avocado shaped rug. I think that one is so cool. We were using that in the old house too, but I think we sized it down there because the house was so much smaller. But here I can actually use that full size avocado rug. It's so perfect. We definitely need more irregular shaped rugs in this game, I feel, because we literally don't really have any except for this one. This is the only one, I think. And I think it's so pretty. So yeah, I definitely want more of those. It was perfect for the shape of this living room space as well. So that was really nice. And then I'm combining the purple and the pinks that I'm using with a lot of darker brown wood tones, and I think that worked out really, really cool. Also, one thing I never use is that standing light that I placed next to the fireplace. I think it's so pretty. I just never use it for some reason because I never really build in a style where I feel like that fancy lamp actually works, but I think it looks really cool in this house. We definitely have some pieces in this house that are kind of out there and kind of weird. So here by the front door, for example, I actually placed a cat tree because we do have a cat. Or no, actually Plummy is not a cat, she's a raccoon. We have a raccoon. She's actually old now, which I'm kind of sad about. So I think at some point in the gameplay, she's gonna pass, which is gonna be so sad. But for now, obviously she is still living with us and she needs all the space and all the toys and all the cat trees. So I definitely took that into consideration from the get-go, and I placed one by the front door, which was perfect. But then next to the cat tree, you can see that end table that I used. I think that one's from Paranormal, and it's so weird and wacky, and it definitely feels like one of those pieces that maybe the previous owners sort of left in this house and that the people that live here now sort of embraced and just used in their interior because it's a fun piece. And so that's what I did. So I was kind of trying to find some pieces that I could place that would kind of reflect that storytelling that they were kind of left maybe by the previous owners. So they're actually like old items. And then here in the kitchen, I am doing the same sort of kitchen cabinets and appliances and colors that I did for the tiny home. But I'm just so obsessed with this color combination of the purple and then the brown appliances. I just love it so much. I'm not over it. I'm not done with it yet. So since this is still a plum home, I figured we could just repeat that same color scheme in the kitchen here. I think it looks so fun. And I was definitely trying to go for, I guess, a somewhat, like, it's retro, but it feels a little bit like actually like old retro, like kind of outdated sort of. That's what I wanted this kitchen to look like. So they've definitely updated the appliances probably over time, but maybe not the cabinets themselves. So those are actually old. And maybe it's not like a clean, I feel like in real life, if you were to redo a kitchen like this, you would probably go for like a nice island and not as many overhead cabinets, because that just looks a little bit more messy and less clean and sleek. And I feel like if you were to take out this kitchen and redo it, it would definitely be more sleek, and you would definitely have an actual island sort of like in the middle of the space. I don't know, that's kind of what I think what I would do. But for this kitchen, I kind of try to embrace the actual retro look and feel, where it feels a little bit outdated with a lot of cabinets and just like a lot of like empty space sort of in the middle of the kitchen. So that's what I was going for. But I feel like it turned out so cozy. I love this kitchen. The purple and brown are just, it's such a cool color combination. Never in a million years would I actually use these counters in this color if it weren't for a purple house that has to be purple in some places, you know? I would never in a million years actually use these countertops, but I think in combination with the brown, I feel like it looks really cool, and it's definitely a choice, and maybe even a choice that I would make in another house that is not necessarily for the plum generation of Not So Berry, so it doesn't have to be purple. But I just think it looks really cool, and it's definitely something different. But then here I was trying to clutter it up. I was really trying to keep an eye on the clutter. I didn't want to make it too cluttered, like I said, because this is for gameplay specifically. So I wanted to feel sort of clean, and also I didn't want it to be too expensive. But again, that definitely, I definitely did not succeed when it comes to that. This house is very expensive. Unfortunately. So yeah, we're gonna have to try to tell a story around that. But I do really like how this kitchen came together. And I also love the splash of orange in the kitchen in the painting, like the wine glass painting you can see that I used. I was really debating if I should place it because I feel like it's definitely out there with a splash of orange, but I really like it specifically because the next generation is going to be the orange generation. You'll see that once we do the bedrooms for this house, the downstairs bedrooms, one of the kids, or like the kids' bedrooms are downstairs, and one of those bedrooms is completely orange because it's for the heir of the orange generation. So that's going to be such a different vibe, but I really like purple and orange combined, so that was perfect actually. And so yeah, I went for that really cool colored painting in the kitchen. I thought that was nice. And then of course we have the dining room space, and then behind the dining room space is an office. So this is actually something we need for gameplay because my sim is a famous actor, but he's also a music producer. He kind of does that on the side as well, because I really wanted him to work on fame. It's actually really difficult to become and stay famous in the game. I don't know, I kept losing my fame levels and stuff, or like his fame level just kept dropping because just the acting was not enough. There's actually a little bit of time in between gigs. So I definitely had to find something else to kind of work on that fame and keep it up. Now, my sim has always been very musical. He always has, ever since he was a kid, he was already playing the piano and stuff. So I felt like becoming a music producer would be a really fun side hustle for him to have. So that's what we're doing on the side. And so I placed those items in the office here. So we have that music production station kind of thing. I placed a piano, also a microphone, which doesn't really serve a purpose in here, but I guess you can just kind of like practice your singing or something. He isn't, one of the skills that is kind of behind for him is the singing skill. I think he's like level 4 or something. Compared to all his other skills, it's insane. He has so many skills build up so high, like it's crazy. His skill building is insane, but that's all to do with that tiny home that we were living in before. So that was definitely helpful. But then after I finished the office downstairs, or upstairs actually, we have this main bedroom here. So this is the bedroom that's going to be for my sim and his husband. My sim's name is Indigo, by the way, and his husband's name is Corey. They're not married at the moment. There was definitely some drama, which was really fun to do for gameplay. I never really do those types of gameplay. Like, I'm not great at creating drama unless the challenge or whatever I'm playing specifically tells me to create drama within the goals or whatever. But I am lucky in the sense where chaos does tend to sort of follow me around when I'm playing this game. I don't know what it is, but stuff is always chaotic. But yeah, Corey and Indigo were actually such a cute couple, but they definitely rushed into getting married. It all happened way too fast. And Indigo was way too excited about starting his new career. He, at some point, actually realized, because like I said, he actually started as a doctor. He also went to college and he studied to become a doctor. So he went through all that gameplay, but then later on, he actually realized that his true dream has always been to become an actor and a dancer and a singer. So later on, that's what he went for. So he quit his job and then he started his new career. But he was definitely, this all happened when Corey and Indigo just started dating, sort of. But it all went very fast. They basically instantly decided that they should move in together. Even though Corey had a daughter, she was a toddler and also a child later on, like at the time. She's a teenager now. But yeah, that definitely was something different for Indigo, and they rushed into that. And then they also had a baby basically right away. They had a science baby together. It was all way too fast. And Corey was very much busy with his new career, trying to make it work. His new career was sort of making it so that he just didn't really have a lot of time for Corey. He didn't have a lot of time for his family. And yeah, his career was basically, I don't want to say it was more important to him, but that's kind of what it seemed like at the time. And obviously Corey was very unhappy in that situation as well. And he was like, you never have time for me. You don't have time for us. On Love Day, for example, instead of going on a date with Corey, Indigo actually decided to hang out with his co-star to work on scenes together, and he totally ditched Corey on Love Day, and it was just kind of sad. So Indigo has not been making the right decisions, but that basically caused them to get a divorce as well. So Indigo has been sort of going at it by himself. His son actually stayed, or their son actually stayed with Indigo. Their son's name is Copper, and he is the heir for the Orange generation. So Copper actually stayed with Indigo through their divorce. But then Corey, obviously, Corey and his daughter, so Indigo's stepdaughter, moved out into an apartment in San Myshuno for the time being. But like I said, their relationship has, well, they're not in a relationship yet, but they have definitely been hanging out. There has been some romance in the air as well. So things are definitely starting to look up and they're definitely growing closer again. And I'm very excited about that. I feel like pretty soon here, they're going to realize that they just want to be back together again. And that's going to be so nice and it's going to be so happy. And we're actually going to throw a wedding this time too. We didn't do that last time because we just kind of rushed into everything and they wanted to be together and they decided to elope and then that was that. But this time I kind of want to do a wedding and stuff too, which I think would be really fun. But yeah, as you can see, we have moved on to the basement level, which is where we have this really cute orange bedroom. This bedroom is insanely orange. I've never done anything this orange in my life. It's so fun though. I love the wallpaper. I think it's very retro inspired, which is perfect. Like it goes perfectly with the style of this home as well. And I was focusing on the items from the kids room stuff pack and I kind of tried to make a really matchy bedroom that way, which I think worked out perfectly. We have some toys in here and then as you can see, Copper also has a sliding glass door to the outside, which is where we're going to have a really nice play area for the kids. So that's going to be really, really nice. And then obviously Copper's half-sister, her name is, oh goodness, what is her name? I forgot her name. That's really horrible of me. I, for the life of me, can't remember right now, which is just simply horrible, but I just can't remember. But she is a teenager at the moment. She actually turned into a teenager not too long ago. So it was really fun to, for this house, actually create one room that doesn't have to be very specifically color coded. So I went for a color combination of like mint and yellow and stuff here and some other like accent colors as well, but it was kind of refreshing to not have to focus on a specific color for this room. So that's what I did. But then subconsciously, I actually went for two colors that we sort of already covered in the Not So Berry challenge, because the very first generation is the mint gen, and then the third generation, I believe, is the yellow gen. So we actually had these colors in the Not So Berry challenge as well, and I subconsciously decided to just like combine those and create a bedroom in that color combination. So that was kind of fun. But yeah, I really like how this bedroom came out. And this girl, I decided that she is going to be into maybe streaming a little bit. She's also very much an animal lover. She's a cat lover. I think she has the friend of the animals, or is that what it's called? In any case, that aspiration where you want to hang out with animals all the time. I think later in life, she decides that she realizes that she wants to become a vet and maybe run a vet clinic or something like that. I think that would be really fun for her, but we're not actually going to do that gameplay because she is simply just a side character in my Let's Play, of course, but I do really like her. We gave her a makeover when she became a teenager and she's just so pretty and she's so fun. So I definitely want to do a little bit of gameplay with her, but yeah, so I think it'd be fun if she were a streamer, if she is into streaming. I'm kind of excited to do a little bit of that gameplay. Again, that came with high school years because I haven't really been doing that ever, or I have done it before, but I haven't done it in a very long time. So it's kind of fun to kind of do that and try that again as well. And then here in the converted garage, this is what I turned into a home gym because Indigo is definitely into fitness. He loves fitness. He also loves wellness. He has been level 10 in fitness for a very, very long time, actually. But yeah, he loves fitness, and I think that Corey also is taking a liking to fitness. I think he kind of enjoys it. So I placed a punching bag in here. I thought maybe Corey would be into like kickboxing specifically. I don't know. I think maybe that would be fun for him to do. And then, yeah, that is basically it for the home gym. I just placed a stereo in there as well, and then not too many other items because, again, I was kind of trying to keep a budget in mind, I guess. Not really, but I was trying to not spend unnecessary money in any case. It was just very expensive to furnish this house in general because it's pretty big. I feel like I did find a nice middle ground between the house looking grand and luxurious, but still being not too big for gameplay. I feel like it's pretty easy to navigate around and you won't lose track of your Sims probably. I don't know. I haven't tried actual gameplay in this house myself, but I feel like that will be fine. It's not too big in that sense. So I think I found a middle ground there, but it's still big and it definitely took a little bit of furniture to like furnish all these rooms. And also I didn't go for super cheap stuff. I placed multiple TVs in this house as well. We also have a bar and stuff like that. We definitely have some more expensive items that are in a retro style from the Get Famous expansion pack. So yeah, that definitely adds to the budget as well. We have a pretty spacious pool, which definitely adds to the budget. But yeah, I still feel like it turned out really cool. So here, as you can see, I'm working on the backyard. We have that nice pool. I did have to mess around with it a little bit because as I was playtesting this build, the pool actually wasn't functional, and that's because of the terrain that I used, I think. So what I actually had to do is I had to create sort of like a room where I have those lounge chairs. I had to sort of like create a room and attach that to the pool. You can't see it because obviously there's no walls around the room or anything. You can't see it, but I'll show you what I mean when we do a little bit of a tour of the place in a little bit here when the furnishing is done. But yeah, so we have that nice pool. We have a hangout space on the back porch. We also have a really cute area here that I thought would be perfect for an easel, because how nice would it be to just like look over the city and feel inspired and like do a nice painting using that easel. I think that would be so cool. And then I'm just adding the final few little finishing touches, some extra purple flowers and stuff. And then that's it. So let's jump into the game and I'll show you the house in real time. So here we have the house in the game. We have Hagrid as my playtester sim, by the way. I felt like Hagrid deserved to live in a house like this for once in his life. So he is currently my playtester sim. So don't mind him, he's just relaxing. But yeah, this is the front of the house. We have this sort of driveway area, but of course their garage, or I feel like what used to be the garage, is now turned into a home gym. So we have that downstairs. Then we have this staircase leading you up to the front porch. So over here is obviously where we have the front door. I also placed some of these security cameras around. That was an idea of one of my friends in chat when I was building this on stream, and I thought that that was so clever. So I placed one there, there's one downstairs here, and then there's one in the back. So speaking of the back, we can actually walk around the house like this, and this is where we have the backyard with the pool. I actually later on decided to add one of these tiny waterfall statue type things. I thought that would be so perfect for this pool, so I did that. And then I originally had a ladder going into the pool placed on this corner, but it wasn't functional, so I actually moved it over here. And what I did was I had to like basically create a little room, attach that to this pool, and then it was functional. I think it has something to do with the manipulated terrain and the way I placed the pool. I don't know, it looks very flat to me, but it was still giving problems. So I managed to fix that, thankfully. Then down here is where we have some areas to relax. There is an easel over here, and then over here, or like down here, is where we have a play area for the kids. So we have monkey jungle bars, a swing set, there is a sand pit down here as well, and then these really cute bushes with the fairy lights. I just thought that was really cute. And there's also a small gardening area down here. So that's the backyard. I feel like that's definitely the most luxurious looking area of this build, is this split level yard type thing with the pool. But then let's actually go inside. So over here we have the front door. There's no specific entryway space or anything. It's basically a very open floor plan where you just walk into this area over here where we have the cat tree and some knickknacks by the front door. I also placed a baseball bat by the front door because my sim, who's famous, actually has a stalker that literally follows him around everywhere and also to his house and stuff. So in order to feel safe, we thought it would be funny to place this baseball bat by the door. Then back here is where we have this living room space with a nice sectional sofa, this really gorgeous plant that I just think is so pretty. Also placed a guitar because my sim is definitely into music and playing guitar. So yeah, we just have a nice fireplace here, a frame TV, a bookcase behind here. There's a bar and a really cool painting that is definitely a nice accent piece. And then over here is where we have the dining room space. I love the combination of this rug and these chairs. Color scheme wise, I think that looks so fun. And then in this corner over here is where we have the really nice and spacious, very purple kitchen, but I really like it. I love the windows here and how it like looks over the city. The view from that window is insane. There's a fun painting here and obviously a trash can and food for the raccoon. Then back here, this room is the office. So this is going to be the room for music production and stuff. I also put up some shelves here where I'm planning on placing awards that I'm pretty sure we're gonna win at some point. So I thought it'd be nice to have some shelves up in this room. And then over here, we just have a nice desk with a computer and then a bunch of posters from productions that my sim has probably starred in, so I thought that would be cool. And then over here is the main bedroom. So this one's for Indigo and Corey, and it feels pretty luxurious. As you can see, it's definitely not too cluttered or anything. It's just very spacious and roomy, but it does have some really funky colors going on. We definitely have some purple. There is another fireplace and also a TV in here, and then obviously a walk-in wardrobe as well. Then over here we have this small hallway space that I just filled up with some extra bookshelves and some other knickknacks. And then over here is the one and only bathroom on this floor. So this is a full bathroom. I was definitely going for this nice luxury walk-in shower kind of thing, and then just a sink and a toilet. It's really nothing special, but I feel like it feels very modern and luxe. Then going downstairs, this is where we have the basement level with the children's bedrooms. So there is a small, basically like a landing sort of thing or hallway here where I just put another cat tree. And then there's also a bathroom down here, of course, with a shower tub combo this time. I figured it'd be nice to have at least one tub in the house. Then over here is the home gym in the converted garage. I think it looks really cool. I love that it's very spacious. And then we just have like a yoga area here, and then all the other gym equipment and some music, of course. Then this is going to be the orange kid's bedroom. His name is Copper, and he's literally an orange kid. Like everything about him is orange. So this room is going to be very fitting for him. I think he'll love it. It's nice and spacious, but not too big. I have the space for this cool Void Critter game thing that I never use, but I think it looks cool in here. And then just a desk and some little knickknacks and a nice sliding door into the backyard. And this is the teen's bedroom. I really like this one as well. I love the colors in here and the clutter, the cute streamer desk setup with the lights and the posters. She is a cat lover, so I thought this poster was only fitting. And then, yeah, it's just like a nice teen's bedroom. She does have a really nice walk-in closet actually, so she is lucky in that sense. And then she also has a sliding door into the yard, which for a teenager is actually just kind of perfect for sneaking out as well, so that's kind of fun. But that is basically it for this house. So this Not So Berry Villa for the Plum Gen is up on the gallery. I built it on a 50 by 40 in the world of Del Sol Valley on the Bailey Moon Manor lot, so that's where it goes if you want to place it. It's expensive. It's even more expensive than I thought it was. It's actually over 146,000 simoleons. So yeah, definitely a famous Sims home, I want to say. But yeah, if you want to place it in your game, then you can definitely go ahead and download it. But that's going to do it for today's video. So I really hope that you enjoyed this one. You can obviously go ahead and download this build off the gallery like I just showed you. My username on the gallery is Simmary Sims. You can follow me on Instagram and on TikTok if you like. My username on there is Simmary Sims as well. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, feel free to do so. And if you'd like to get notified of every single time I upload a video, just click that little bell icon and you should be fine. I also live stream over on Twitch a few times a week, so if you're interested in that, go ahead and give me a follow over on twitch.tv/Simmary Sims. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!